Your brain can turn one awkward sentence into a 6-hour investigation. You're lying in bed, trying to sleep, when it suddenly replays your tone, their expression, and that 2-second pause after you spoke. Before long, one uncomfortable moment feels like proof that you embarrassed yourself completely. But this replay isn't an objective recording. It makes 3 predictable mistakes, and the last one is what keeps the loop alive. The first mistake is assuming that everyone noticed. You experienced the moment from inside your own head, so every detail felt enormous. You heard the change in your voice, felt your face getting warmer, and noticed exactly how long the silence lasted. Naturally, you assume everyone else noticed those things too. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect. In one famous experiment, students entered a room wearing an embarrassing t-shirt. They predicted how many people would notice it, but the actual number was much lower. The students felt as though a spotlight was following them, while everyone else was mostly focused on themselves. You are the main character in your version of the conversation, but you were only one small part of theirs. While you monitored your voice, they may have been choosing what to say next, worrying about how they looked, or thinking about something unrelated. The second mistake is treating embarrassment as evidence. If a moment felt awkward, your brain assumes it must have looked awkward, but an emotion only tells you what happened inside you. It doesn't reveal what another person saw. Imagine that you pause after saying something. A camera would record a sentence, a short silence, and the conversation continuing. Your mind adds the rest. They thought that was weird. They can tell I'm nervous. They'll remember this every time they see me. Those aren't facts. They're interpretations your brain used to fill an uncertain silence. Then comes the third mistake, believing that more replaying will eventually give you certainty. Psychologists call this post-event processing. After an embarrassing social situation, you review what you said, how you sounded, what their expression meant, and what you should have done differently. At first, it feels useful, but after the first review, you usually aren't discovering anything new. You're examining the same incomplete evidence while becoming more anxious. Memory isn't a perfect recording either. When you already believe you embarrassed yourself, your mind zooms in on details supporting that conclusion and ignores the ordinary details suggesting nothing serious happened. Repetition makes the interpretation feel familiar, and familiarity can make it feel true. That's why the conversation often returns when you're trying to sleep. There's nothing magical about 3 in the morning. During the day, your attention competes with messages, work, music, and people around you. At night, most of that disappears. Silence didn't create the thought. It removed everything that was louder than it. So how do you stop the investigation? Start with the camera test. Ask what a camera could objectively prove happened. Remove every assumption about what someone thought or felt. Maybe you spoke, paused, and they looked away. That's evidence. They looked away because they thought I was stupid as a story. Next, reverse the roles. Imagine a friend said exactly what you said. Would you analyze their entire personality because of one awkward sentence? Would you still be thinking about it 8 hours later? Probably not. You would recognize it as a normal human moment and move on. You deserve the same standard. Finally, close the file. Ask whether the replay produced one useful action. Maybe you need to apologize, clarify something, or respond differently next time. If there is an action, take it. If there isn't, continuing the review won't create new evidence. It will only make the old fear louder. The moment feels enormous because you experienced it from the center of your attention. To the other person, it may have been 5 ordinary seconds in a day filled with hundreds of other moments. And while you're lying awake imagining them replaying what you said, they may be somewhere else replaying something they said to you. Everyone carries a private collection of moments they believe the entire world remembers. Most of the time, the world wasn't paying nearly as much attention as they thought. If you want to understand more of the strange things your brain does, subscribe. There's always another hidden piece of psychology shaping your everyday life.